Number two, the second key to being a great dad is in the area of work. John chapter 5, verse 17. In his defense, Jesus said to them, "My Father is always at his work to this very day." My dad works. "And I too am working." And then look at verse 36 of the same chapter. Jesus says, "I have testimony weightier than that of John, for the works that the Father has given me to finish, the very works that I'm doing, testifies that the Father sent me." So God the Father gave Jesus works to finish. So I find this quite fascinating that the Father gets Jesus involved in the work of salvation, creation, and Jesus finishes the work that the Father gives. I think, now, let me back up here for a second. This is Father's Day. And I know there's going to be moms here going, "Wait a second, Pastor. It's important for us to tell our kids we love them too. Wait a second, Pastor. We work as well." Now, women, I talked to you on Mother's Day. That was your sermon. That was your message. Today is Father's Day. I know you do all of these, okay? But I'm preaching to fathers today, all right? So, I think it is very important, and there's just something about work and men. I think men need to work. I think it's built into men. And I think men, it's important you teach your kids to work. So men, when they're growing up, you say to your 2-year-old, "Hey, clean up the dish, take them into the kitchen." 3 years old, it's time that you start making your bed. 5 years old, it's time you help, load the dishwasher. I may be out of track, all right? 7 years old, this is where it gets good, men. It's time to cut the grass. Get them out there, cutting that grass. Weed whacking, 7 years old. 8, it's time you do the gardening. 9, you wash the car. You teach them to work. Robin and I, we don't have any anymore, praise God. But we used to have rental houses for a long time. And I would take the 6 kids. And they were, and they would learn to paint and electric and plumbing. And I thought, all right, I'm going to learn how to work. But it's amazing that all 6 kids have learned. And so they buy homes and they buy fix-em-uppers and they get rentals and they teach them to work. Now, I'm going to show you an interesting study, observation. In the 70s, when I was a kid, teenager, 60% of teenagers worked a job, usually during the school year and in the summer. In fact, when I was in high school, and I was in high school in New Jersey, everyone had a job in high school. I remember at 14, my dad said, "You got to go get a job now." I don't know what it is, but you got to get a job. At 16, I worked at W.T. Grant's, which was the Walmart of that day. We did have some sports, but never to the, I can't work a job because I'm playing sports all the time. Every kid seemed to have a job. And then you not only worked through high school, but you also worked through college. But you'll notice that today, it's only about 30% of teenagers work at all through high school and college. So in other words, a lot of kids today, the first time they actually get a job is when they graduate college. And suddenly it's like, whoa, they never learned to work, okay? So there are skills, and every parent, you get to decide how to raise your children, okay? This is just advice. I see the father giving the son work. Here's the skills that teens learn by you giving them jobs in high school and college. They learn the value of money. If they don't learn the value of money, they believe it grows on trees and comes in their parents' wallet and pocketbook. And they don't appreciate when you start helping your kids in college and all, they have no concept. It's just money is there. But if they've been working for it, they know how, when they see the bill for college and, how much they would have to work, they have a greater appreciation about the whole thing. They learn time management and responsibility. They learn a work ethic at 14 instead of at 22. This career exploration is very interesting to me. It turns out that when kids work through high school and in college, working through college, different things, they actually get a better idea what they actually like, as opposed to what's happening now is lots of kids graduate from college, never working a day in their life, go to their job and go, I hate this. I don't like this job. And they never knew ahead of time because they never worked something kind of in that field or that area to say, oh yeah, I think I would love that if I actually do it. Building confidence and sense of accomplishment. And this one is very important. Communication skills in dealing with people of all kinds. So when kids just are at home and in college and they don't have jobs, they don't learn how to deal with people as well. So believe me, if you work a job as a teenager at Chick-fil-A, okay? What do you think? Do you think all the customers are wonderful? They're not. So when you work a job, you discover there's tough people, there's nice people, there's good bosses, there's not so good. Working with co-workers, you learn a whole area, and you learn how to communicate and how to say to that grumpy person, my pleasure. I know. So, believe it or not, the kids that don't work, they get out of college and they have a hard time doing job interviews because they haven't learned the skill of talking to hundreds of different type people instead of, their great parents. All right, so just for you to put in the back of your mind.